What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Minus the Gym video. And I'm just going to skip the intro in this one because I have so much information that I want to share with you. All right, so we're going to look at 6 different shoulder mobility exercises. And if you use all of these, plus the warm-up and the stretches that I'm going to show you, and you do the full routine, you will see instant improvements. I'm talking within just like 1 or 2 sessions, you should feel a difference. If you have tight internal rotators, meaning your pecs, your lats, your subscapularis, you'll notice instant improvements in the form of that kind of loosening up and feeling less tight. If you have cracking and popping in the shoulder socket when you move the humeral head in there, you'll notice less cracking and popping. And of course, your scapular movement will improve as well. Okay, before we dive into the 6 exercises I want to show you, let's talk about a warm-up. Now for the warm-up, you want to just get blood flowing to the joints and then do a few stretches. So what I like to do is I like to start off with what I call shoulder rolls. This is basically a shrugging motion, like a circular shrugging of the shoulders. And I like to do front to back and then back to front, just about 5 to 10 slow rolls of each. After the shoulder rolls, I put my arms out to the sides, kind of like I'm making a letter T shape. And in this T shape, what I do is arm circles. I just move the arms in small circles. Both directions, about 10 to 20 circles should be enough. And while I'm in this T shape, I also like to do arm rotations, where you basically just rotate the arms out to the sides between supination and pronation of the forearms. This means your palms will be facing up and then facing down and back. And you just rotate back and forth between those 2 positions. And then the last warm-up exercise I do before the stretching is cat-cow. And honestly, cat-cow is the best, in my opinion, for warming up the whole shoulder girdle. So if you're tight on time, just start with cat-cow. Right? If you don't have a lot of time to warm up, this is the best one. So you get down in a quadruped position on your hands and knees. And what you want to do is switch between spinal extension and scapular retraction, and then spinal flexion with scapular protraction. And you just keep changing between these 2 positions. And as long as you focus on that, the neck and hip movement will follow naturally. This is great because it initiates spinal mobilization and scapular mobilization at the same time. That's why it's such a good warm-up exercise if you're short on time, but I like to do it in addition to everything else. All right, next I like to do a few stretches as part of the warm-up. The first stretch is the shoulder extension stretch. And you do this by placing your hands, palms down, on an elevated surface behind you, and then stand up straight with good posture, and then gently start lowering down into a sort of squat. You should feel a deep stretch, not just in the shoulders, but also the biceps if you have tight biceps. Hold the stretch for about 30 to 60 seconds before moving on to the next one. And the next one I recommend is any chest and shoulder opener. One of my favorites is the corner stretch. So you need a 90-degree corner in the room. You just walk up to the corner, put your arms and hands up on the wall, and then lean into it. And this will just, as you lean your body weight, you'll feel it opening up the chest and shoulders really well. And after that stretch for a good 30 seconds or so, maybe a little more, then I move on to child's pose. This is another shoulder opener, but you're on the floor, your arms are outstretched overhead, and it's really good for stretching the lats. So you just sink down, bring your hips back towards your heels, and once you can do child's pose with your face resting comfortably on the floor, you can also elevate your hands onto a stability ball or a coffee table or an ottoman or a couch, anything like that. Okay, so at this point we've done a thorough warm-up that includes 4 different exercises for the shoulders as well as 3 different stretches. You are nice and warmed up and flexible, you feel supple. So what we're going to do now is jump into the 6 shoulder mobility exercises that I've been wanting to show you in this video. For the first exercise, you're going to need a dowel. All right, you can get a wood dowel at a hardware store. They're like $3. And I bought one that I think is 4 feet, about 48 inches long. But I think 3 feet should be enough for this exercise and the next one that we're going to do. So what you want to do is hold the dowel right behind your hips. And you want this to be in a supinated position, meaning your palms should be facing your body instead of away from you. And you're just going to extend at the shoulders and lift the dowel away from you as high as you can without straining. You don't want to have any pain. You just want to lift it without straining. Now, it's important when you do these shoulder extension lifts that you're maintaining good posture. You don't want to be jutting your chin out. You don't want to be moving the hips back and arching your lower back. So make sure you maintain as best a posture as you can while you do this. And if you feel yourself breaking posture, then what you can do is walk up and put yourself against a wall. And when I say yourself, I mean 4 different points, all right? Nose, toes, chest, and hips. You want all 4 of those points of contact against the wall and maintain the contact as you do the shoulder extensions. Okay, exercise number 2 is lat pulls. And I think some fitness influencers out there would probably disagree with me on this one, but I stand by my opinion that this is a great shoulder mobility exercise. And the reason why people might disagree is because you're going to be putting the dowel behind your head. But hear me out, this is why it's good. What you do is you lay prone on the floor. That means face down. You keep your nose on the floor, and then you're going to pull the dowel from outreached in front of your head to behind your head to the bottom of your neck, and then return to the starting position. You do this slowly and carefully, and the reason why this is good is it's going to strengthen your lats and improve your scapular depression while simultaneously keeping your chest open, so you're stretching the chest and the internal rotators, and it's also going to prevent you from cheating and kind of jutting your head forward and chicken necking. You can't chicken neck when your face is touching the floor. It's just not possible. All right, now this third exercise is one I was not going to include in the video, but I decided to anyways. It's called shoulder dislocates. And just by the name of it, you can see it sounds like it's going to, be risky. But here's the thing. A lot of people, especially on YouTube, are telling even beginners to start their shoulder dislocates with a dowel or a bar. And I totally disagree with that. If you have any tightness in the lats or any of the other internal rotators, which a lot of us do, what's going to end up happening is you're going to want to widen your grip as you get up overhead, and a dowel is not going to let you do that. So I actually recommend you drop the dowel and you pick up a band, okay, a light resistance band, nothing too heavy. And what you're going to do is you're going to hold that resistance band in front of you right against your thighs with a prone grip, and then you're going to raise it out in front of you and overhead, and then reach tall, reach the arms way up, and then bring them behind you all the way till the resistance band touches your butt. Then from there, you're going to bring it back overhead and return to the starting position. Now again, the reason why I recommend doing this with a band is so you can widen your grip if you feel resistance along the way. And if you try this with a broomstick or a dowel, then make sure if you feel any restriction in your mobility, you don't force it, because you could injure yourself. All right, the next exercise I recommend is called wall circles. I love this one. You got to be careful with it, just like the shoulder dislocates, but when you do it right, it's fantastic if you have any cracking and popping in the shoulder socket. So what you want to do is you want to kneel next to a wall. And I recommend starting about 6 inches from the wall. The closer you are to it, then the harder this will be. The further away, then the easier it will be. So kneeling next to the wall, take the hand of the arm closest to the wall, place it on, palm against the wall, and then make a big circle. You can go front to back or back to front. Either way is fine. I like to switch it up. Make these nice, wide, and slow circles. Now what you'll notice is when your hand returns to the bottom and you're returning to the front or back, you'll need to rotate the hand to keep the palm against the wall. All right, so keep that in mind. Don't try to strain. You should not feel strain at any point. If you do feel strain, you're either not rotating your hand or you need to move further away from the wall to make it easier. All right, the next 2 exercises are going to work on scapular movements. First, we're going to do scapular pull-ups. So jump up onto a bar and then hang in a dead hang, meaning your shoulders are by your ears. And once you're there, keeping the arms straight, you want to just pull your scapula together and down, and you should feel your head rise above the shoulders and then return back to the passive dead hang position. Repeat that for reps, keeping the arms locked out. All right, keep them as straight as possible. And then the last exercise I recommend, exercise number 6, is scapular push-ups. So for this, you're going to get into a plank, a straight arm plank, also known as the top of a push-up, and then keeping the arms locked out, you want to let your shoulder blades sink together and then press into the ground to move them apart. And just repeat that for reps as well. You should feel your shoulder blades sliding against the rib cage as you do this. Now for all 6 of the exercises I explained in this video, I recommend doing just 2 or 3 sets of each. And for reps, honestly, you just need 8 good slow reps and that should be it. You can go more if you want. You can do 10, 12, 15, however many you want, but I find that 8 is the ideal target. So yeah, these 6 exercises I think are great. They're essential if you're looking to improve your shoulder mobility, all right? Along with that warm-up and the stretches, make sure you stretch as well. If you're experiencing any pain in the shoulder joint, now that's different. You should actually see a physical therapist if you're having pain. But I do have a video on how I fixed my shoulder impingement, and I'll put a link up on the screen here if you want to check that out. It's similar to what I explained in this video, but it's also a little different because in my case, I had tight internal rotators from all the computer use and video games and all that stuff, hunching over my phone too much. And I had to really focus on strengthening my external rotators in addition to stretching the internal rotators. All right, everybody, I hope this video helped you out. If it did, please hit that like button because that helps me out in return. And I apologize for being out here on a walk. I have a toddler and a newborn at home now, so it is pretty noisy at home. It's not much better out here when you got tractors and stuff going by, but this was my best opportunity to shoot a video this week. So I hope you can still hear me. I hope the information was helpful. I hope you took notes, and I hope you improve your shoulder mobility. All right. For those of you new, hit that subscribe button, stay in touch, and I'll talk to you next time.